Initiating startup sequence.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are now plugged in.
Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in. This is episode 252 of the Plug and Play podcast. My name is Zach, and alongside me is Tim.
You're freaking me out, man. Welcome.
That's great.
Welcome, minions. Zach, I've got so many things I'm excited to share with you tonight.
What are you excited for, Tim?
You watching too much children's programming? What's going on with you? Okay, so first thing I'm excited about is our tasty treats for the evening. We are trying something from Eugene, Oregon. Cold Fire is the brewery. St. James IRA is the beer. It's an Imperial Double Red Ale. It's got 6.1 ABVs and 60 IBUs. It's their house IRA and kind of their flagship. It's beloved for its full, slightly biscuit-like malt character, mellow hints of cocoa and chocolate, and gracefully integrates new and old-school red ale convention. Big pine and citrus explode off the nose. It's going to explode off your nose, Zach. Balancing them.
Off my nose?
How long are you going to go with this?
I don't know, Tim.
Oh, God. Okay, this beer is double dry hopped with a blend of house favorites. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Apparently, I'm podcasting with a Muppet today. This is great. Hey, Zach, what you been up to this week? Actually, 2 weeks. You got sick.
Yeah, I got sick.
You better?
Yeah, I think.
You got better.
I got better. Yeah, so I got sick. And I don't remember what the fuck I did that week. I was just not
You were
feeling
sick.
good. I was just
Let's
sick.
just pretend
Okay,
that
so
week never happened.
That week never happened. Last Friday, Rose City Comic Con started.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So a lot of cool audio drama people flew in, and came out of the woodworks from Portland. So I got to go down to the Lucky Lab, which is where we're doing our monthly podcast meetups. Second Friday of every month. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, come join us at Lucky Lab Brewing. Second Friday of every month.
I think there's a couple Lucky Labs. So which one? What's the major street it's on?
No idea. Lucky Labrador. Lucky Labrador Brewing.
I think there's more than one location.
Don't think so.
All right.
I'm going to have to Google that now. Lucky Labrador. It's off of Quimby Street. Oh, there is a couple of them.
That's what I said.
Huh.
Is it close to Hawthorne? Do you remember that?
It's down next to the Cthulhu absinthe place. Is that Killingsworth?
No, that's not Killingsworth. That's Grand and Hawthorne area.
So I'm pretty sure it's this one off of Hawthorne.
Yes.
Pretty positive.
Also what I said.
Pretty fucking positive.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Read that top line. That's more than 50.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay.
So cool. Thank you for that. That's I'm gonna go buy that mixer now. Shit, what the fuck was I talking about?
Lucky Lab.
Oh yeah, Lucky Lab. Lucky Lab off of Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Pacific Northwest. Second Friday. Second Friday. Just hit up at Cast Junkie, ask for the Google Calendar invite.
So, what were some of the podcasts that the people there were representing?
So there was the White Vaults, which I did not realize they were in Florida for a long time. Apparently they moved to Portland 2 years ago. And I didn't know that. And I thought they've been to Nova Scotia for soundscape recording and stuff. So their photos are all from Nova Scotia because fucking of course you'd put your photos from Nova Scotia.
Absolutely.
If you'd been in Nova Scotia before.
I mean, I want a green screen and do that right now.
Yeah. So I thought they were out of the U.S. at this point. But no, they're Portland, Oregon. So they showed up. They were on a panel with Sarah from Girl in Space, which is the woman I took a photo with that was wearing the same Support Indie Podcast sweatshirt.
Sweet.
So she's the very first one that ever bought any of my merch. Mm-hmm. And she wears this. She travels the country talking at cons. So she's at the Austin Film Festival this week talking about audio dramas. And then she's going to this is her career.
Awesome.
She travels talking about audio dramas and writing and creative process. And so she wears my hoodie everywhere she goes. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, it's you've broadened it so it's not just you, it's supported in podcasts.
Yeah, but it's something I created.
But it's something you made, yes.
Yeah, so it's cool. So me and her took a photo together and she was here.
Who else was there?
There was Ken from Kabu. I can't remember what his podcast name is, but he's a audio drama guy who talks about creators and talks to podcast creators and audio drama creators on Kabu, which is a local jazz station in Portland, Oregon.
Yep.
And then I'm sorry, but I can't remember the other names of the podcasts that were there.
Okay. You have a good time?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of cool connections, a lot of awesome meetups. Oh, like Emma from Husk was there, obviously. She's helping me throw these at the Lucky Labrador.
I'm glad someone's helping you organize these since you don't even know the address.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
She just tells me where to be, and I show up, and I advertise it.
Perfect.
Yep. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool podcasts in Portland that have showed up, and this is the second one. We're going to do another one October, whatever the fuck it is, second Friday. And, yeah, so I did that. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to pull up the time. Ooh, I apparently closed out the outline. Another thing I did this weekend was I winterized my backyard. And by winterizing my backyard, I mean I moved in all of our fabric furniture and shit to get it ready for the winter because it started to really rain this past weekend in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that if I put the love seat that was out back in the garage, which I did not do that last year. I pushed everything up against the house and stacked it all. But if I put that in the garage, I can put the 2 chairs out there, move the fire pit up against the house, and since we have cement siding, the fire doesn't affect it. Can't catch on fire.
Okay.
So we can still enjoy a fire through the winter now.
You should just check for suit occasionally.
That's probably a good idea.
But yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That you could actually do that safely.
Yeah. So we did that once. And I've been working on prepping a new Button Smashers YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There was somebody else's. And then there's I don't want to fucking stream anymore. So they gave it to Q over the Button Smashers.
So tell me what types of things you'll be streaming on that because I'm curious because I
Anything
brought
and
up a
everything-
game. I brought up a game. You're like, no, I don't want to stream that one.
No, I didn't want to take it from your channel because you paid for the game.
Oh, jeez, I don't care about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to stream it on my channel, I'll stream it on my channel.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm gonna stream anything and everything I want to fucking play on it.
I just want to see you stream because just watching you play Descenders where you're crashing into shit.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so I've got a game. I'll see what you think of it, but I'll pitch it to you later after we go on break or whatever.
Is this the one you emailed to me?
Yeah.
we should do it.
Okay, that'd be fun.
I just don't know what day it's on.
September 20th is Friday, I think.
That's Friday?
That's the raid Area 51 day.
Right.
And the game is called Cheek Clappers, I think.
Something like that. And you're trying to run in the Area 51.
It's a running game, and you run past the guards, and they're shooting at you, and you literally just run around smacking alien butts.
Yeah.
That's the whole game.
Yep. And then I'm also prepping for a new job, so tomorrow's my last day, and I'll be jobless.
Oh, no.
For 14 days.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, wait, no, 12
so
days.
tomorrow, you're working till roughly what time?
3:30.
Do you have plans after?
Yeah, we're going to my coworker's house and we're gonna drink.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping you'd say, something like
Yeah.
that.
And then after that, we should probably meet up somewhere else and drink more.
We can see about that.
Okay, I'm not sure what your plans are. Probably busy.
I do, but
We'll
after 8:30, if you're still coherent, I'll probably have to pick up your drunk ass from somewhere. Is what it's really going to happen.
Probably. That's probably a good idea. We'd probably do that.
Well, cool on your unemployment. Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you. I'm glad to be unemployed. It's awesome.
It's been fun watching you throw your work shirts down on the floor every day after you get done with that.
After doing podcasting, this one's going on the floor too. And I was told that there is a outdoor fire pit at the place we're doing it tomorrow night, so they're welcome to burn.
Oh, sweet.
So
I
that's
told you
cool.
you should burn those shirts. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You should do that.
So, and then also, speaking about burning,
Mm-hmm.
really, this is a terrible segue, but we did a Harry Potter binge, so we watched 2 Harry Potter movies.
Oh, cool.
So,
Like the first two, or?
no, so we watched the first 2 already over, the past 3 weeks, because my son was just, not into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, out of nowhere, when I was sick that weekend, my son was, super cool and was just want to watch Harry Potter? And I was like, sure. So, we sat there and literally watched a movie, got up and played for a little bit, and then he'd, let us sit down and watch another movie. It was weird.
I feel like fall is a great time for Harry Potter. I don't know why. Maybe it's because
really good.
because they're going to school, or
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure why. It just feels like a fall movie.
It's a lot of fun.
Although Christmas would be all right too. There's usually a lot of winter celebrations. in
There is a
movies.
lot of winter celebrations, yeah. I don't know. We just watch Harry Potter year round. So it's like,
Just
and
like- it's
so
like a
the weird
comfort
thing
food.
also, yeah, I guess, yeah. Also, a lot of people are selling Harry Potter shit in stores now. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
I don't know.
Chocolate wands, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Harry Potter never really died in popularity, even when
No.
the
Even when it took a 20-year break.
well, yeah, those recent movies, the second one especially sucked ass.
Yeah.
but that hasn't ruined the
No,
first series.
I just don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's great though.
People like the
Cool.
Wizard.
Yep, I like the Wizard. What about you, Tim? You've been up to a lot of shit.
I'm not going to talk much about it because I got news and other weird stuff I want to share. So it was my kid's birthday, so I will mention that. They have their birthdays 4 days apart, which is before has been cool. When they were younger, they didn't mind doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was that one year we rented the game truck in front of our house, which
Yeah.
was epic. This year they each had their own different ideas about what they wanted to do, and so we've had some like family celebrations where we just went out to dinner, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like for what they want to do to celebrate their birthday, my son we drove like way down to like Sherwood, which means nothing to most of you. It's kind of a rural area, and there was like this horse farm with a big pasture, and they put like these giant, and I do mean giant, like bouncy castles.
No, they were legit castles.
They were freaking.
They had a bouncy floor in them.
There was like one huge one that was like, I don't even know what size to compare it to, like maybe like 3/4 of a football field.
Sure, maybe.
It was big, and then there was a bunch of little tertiary ones all around it, like literally like 7 what would be normally considered large, but smaller compared to that one.
That's crazy.
So they wore themselves out. We took them to pizza afterwards, and ice cream, and they had a good time. They looked exhausted after that. This weekend is my daughter's celebration. She's going to escape room with some of her buddies.
Hold on.
Oh, you're going on a side trail. What are you doing? Yeah, they were jumping around. They were totally doing that.
Oh, I'm sure
They had a good time.
should actually play this at every single jump house. They should be.
They actually had some.
requirements.
They had some speakers. I didn't hear this one. They really,
Oh, you got to go too?
I did not get to jump. Here's the thing: as
okay,
we were
okay,
leaving
okay,
at 6
okay.
p.m., there's kids leaving, and there's adults pouring in because at 6 p.m. it's 21 and over
No.
only.
Like drunken jumping? Like, do they let you bring beer?
Not officially,
Oh, fuck them.
but
That should be
I guarantee
official.
it was happening.
Oh, I know it was happening.
Absolutely, it was happening. The second time I've ever fractured a bone was at a bouncy castle.
I want to go to a bouncy castle now. What the fuck?
I mean, we could have. So that's my kids' birthdays. Also for my daughter's birthday, we saw the second It movie because we saw the first one for her birthday as well. We missed the first 10 minutes, but from what I heard, we didn't miss too much. The second one was not as good as the first one.
I never even saw the first one.
The first one's great. See that sometime. This one is the second half of Stephen King's book, and it's them as adults going back and facing the monster again. And it was good, but like in reflection, it was very kind of repetitive. Like kind of did a lot of the same things, like facing him down in the same creepy house in the end, that sort of thing. I won't get into spoilers. There were definitely some great moments. You'll see if you watched all the trailers, the one scene where the woman goes to her father's house, what was her father's house, and interviews a woman that was living there. That scene is creepy as hell. There's some other great moments, but there was also some kind of cheesy moments, honestly. I don't know if the CGI was intentionally made cheesy to kind of reflect like a nightmare preying on someone's fears and like sort of the unreality of the situation. I should probably stop. I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone who wants to see it, but it was good. It just wasn't as good as the first one. And then I've been writing PAX articles. So this week I wrote kind of a write-up of probably my biggest game demo that I got to see, which was Marvel's Avengers. And actually the studio head for Crystal Dynamics was there, and he did a little kind of, after we played the demo, he kind of explained the game, which is where I got all the material for my article. You can read that article on thebudsmashers.com if you want. And after this episode, so I'll make it optional for y'all, I've got like a 2-minute clip of him kind of giving a broad overview of what the game is like. So you can listen to that if you want after our main episode. So that's what I've been up to that I'm going to share because I want to get to the news and other stuff.
All right, Tim, are you ready to talk some news?
Let's talk some news. That was really low.
Ooh, I got something. Hold on, we gotta start again.
Another bunny story?
No, yeah, kind of, sort of. So this hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna happen tomorrow. I can see the future.
Okay.
So my coworkers have been pranking me like all week long.
Okay.
So I decided.
Yeah, you didn't tell that. It was a good story.
So the first day they like wrapped everything in my office in aluminum and like filled it with like rolled up aluminum balls. And then the second day, they put sticky notes over everything. I'm leaving all this shit up for them, so they have to fucking take care of it when I'm gone. And
typical Zach.
Yep. So I've made homemade slingshots and stuff, and I've been slingshotting aluminum balls at people all week long and not working.
Okay.
And so today, because this is going to go up after it's already done said, so nobody that listens to the show
Will be warned.
Yeah, will be warned.
Okay.
There are air horns underneath seats.
Oh, you're an evil bastard.
And I tested everything before I left tonight.
Nice.
And they are
so when they
loud
sit down,
as
it goes.
Yep.
Wow, that's evil.
Yep.
Okay, so we start the news again because that intro is weak anyway.
All right, you ready?
Let's just talk some news.
All right, Tim, what do you got for news this week?
This came out of nowhere. Actually, the week you were sick, but I'm still putting it up here now today. Colonel Sanders, the legend, the icon, is having a dating sim. It's actually made by KFC or commissioned by KFC or whatever, and it's a crazy ass dating sim.
Please tell me you get to sleep with chickens.
No, but you can date Colonel Sanders. This is their
Do
description.
you have to date him?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Welcome to the most delicious dating simulator ever created. Do you have what it takes to be the business partner of and win the heart of the most famous chicken salesman of all time? Play to find out. Go ahead, Colonel Sanders is waiting. Like, it's a full, like, nutty, like, totally Japanese style, like, dating sim. There's corgis, all sorts of, like, anime girls, and,
That's
like,
insane.
explosions and chicken. It looks awesome. It's free. It's coming out September 24th for free. This will be the third dating sim I've played ever. So I'm excited for that.
That's insane.
All right, what's next in the news, Zach?
Hey, Tim.
Yeah, what?
Steam Library got to update the the Uplay store.
Yes.
So basically what they did is they, instead of having that annoying long list of just name after name after name,
Yeah.
now you have the cover art for every single game.
It looks more like
It's like big picture mode almost.
yeah, or like it reminds me of like
It's like a game, it's almost
Sort
like a comic book,
like-
like a catalog, like bookshelf.
yeah. There's definitely apps for that for digital comics that look like this, or sort of like Netflix where you get like a
Oh,
nice,
true. Good point. Yeah, Netflix.
it just looks more modern. Like they've had the same like
It's been the same since it started.
sterile AI forever. It looks
Yeah.
a lot nicer.
It does. It looks cool, and I had you implement it. I don't know how you do it, but it's cool.
You have to sign into a beta.
Oh, okay.
It's the second beta I signed into this week.
Oh, nice. So yeah, that's what I got for the Steam Library. It's awesome. I'm excited they're doing it.
It's time. I think they're doing it in response, honestly, to like the Epic Store launching. Rockstar's got a launcher now. Like
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, Rockstar's got a launcher, but why the fuck would you use it?
I don't know, but I think they're finally like, okay, we should get off our asses and like maybe get into the modern world a little
We
bit.
haven't updated in 20 years.
I appreciate Epic for putting some pressure on them so they do stuff like this.
All right, Tim, what do you got next?
Apple Arcade. Like, I didn't think I would give two craps about this, but I checked it out. So Apple Arcade actually officially launches tomorrow, which would be September 19th. As we're recording, it's September 18th. So it's going to be a subscription service for $5 a month, and it's the latest sign of Apple getting on the gaming bandwagon with a curated list of exclusive titles all set to come to your iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, and even Apple TV. So it's kind of doing a Netflix for gaming approach. You get a monthly subscription, gives you access to top quality video game adventures that aren't available anywhere else. So I was skeptical of this. So to even get, they did kind of a soft launch. It's officially launching tomorrow, but if you updated your device to, I think 13.1, like all of Apple's products are like the 12s right now.
Okay.
But I found a way to opt into the beta, and with that beta, the arcade store like just unlocks. So there's certain games you can only get if you're on the arcade subscription. There's 53 titles right now. I think when it goes all out, it's going to be like 100 titles, and then there'll be new titles every month. So I checked out just 3 of the games, and I was like really excited because Oceanhorn 2 is like a Zelda game. Sayonara Wild Hearts, I think the name of the title, is a game I gushed about at PAX. Not out on any platform yet. It's coming out to Switch.
Is that like the running motorcycle jumping flipping game?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then Earth Knights.
There's a Red Bull like thing with Tetris, dude.
Yes, that was the event I saw that. Earth Knight was a game I saw. Like,
yeah, you have a T-shirt like from like 3-4 years ago.
Yes, I went to the PlayStation Experience and got to actually play the demo with the. It was supposed to come out on Vita. It's not out on anything else yet, and it just like stealth launched on this Apple Arcade. So there's titles that I am interested in. Kind of indie casual, I guess was how I'd characterize it. A lot of the other titles looked really interesting. There was a Rabbids title. There was a who's that? Shantae, that little genie chick from Way Forward Games, has a game on it that's nowhere else.
Yeah.
There's actually so these games I don't think will be exclusives forever, but they got them exclusively first, and I think that's a big play for Apple.
Okay.
As we see games going into the service mode, where you don't just buy a game, you buy a service, like Stadia is coming out later. Like, I think this is very well positioned to be competitive. It's not high end like Stadia. It's not going to be like 4K,
Honestly,
60 frame.
though, I don't think anybody expects that out of Apple.
They don't.
That's the problem. Is like everybody expects that shit out of everybody
else. If the Switch has proven anything, it's that people don't care about high end specs. They want stuff that's easy to play, and Stadia does not look easy to play. Stadia is streaming. You've got to have an connection.
Not only on top of that, you fucking are going to pay out the ass if you stream at 4K.
Right. Your internet provider's not going to be happy. In this model, you download the games. You have to have Apple Arcade to access them, but you download it. It's on your thing. You can be playing on the subway with no signal.
You don't own the game.
You don't own them, but they're on your system. They're physically in your little hard drive on your device. They're not streaming. The other cool thing was with this update, syncing my Xbox One or PlayStation 4 controllers was super easy. So I can actually play it with a controller, which I prefer to typically. I will say that the controls on Sayonara Wild Hearts were not as good as they were on the Switch. And I think that might be because they programmed it for touch controls also. So the controls felt really floaty on the controller. The other two games I mentioned, they felt just fine. So, but yeah, I'm actually sort of excited for this service. I got the 1 month free trial, which expires the middle of October. And I don't know, I might do it for a couple months. $5 is like a latte.
$5 is nothing.
I will say it's way better than Nintendo service, which is like doling out a few old Nintendo games or Super Nintendo games. Like the only original content that I'm aware of that they've put out, other than some Smash thing that I don't care about, is that Tetris 99 game. So I'm getting way more value out of this subscription service than, I don't know. It's cool. Apple Arcade, check it out.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Well, I mean,
no.
After you watch this video, you might say that.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. Nintendo Ring Fit Adventure. I want you to see this video, Zach. Turn up the volume a little bit.
Hey everyone! Last week we released this video. You saw some people moving their bodies, doing some kind of activity,
and having a pretty good laugh. Truthfully, they were playing a brand new adventure game for Nintendo Switch. It's a bit different from what you would expect.
It's an adventure game first and foremost, but you'll actually be moving your body. You might even break a sweat while playing. It's called Ring Fit Adventure.
When you think of an adventure,
these people
you
scare me.
probably picture a world in peril and enemies to battle as you work towards a goal. That's the core of an adventure game.
So how will you battle your enemies?
With
you
your
can't
penis.
Go on a quest without cool gear.
I think you might be able
These
to
are the
actually.
ring con and leg strap accessories.
Yep.
I mean, if you put the leg strap somewhere
Just
else.
insert the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers into the ring con and leg
Yep.
strap like this.
Oh, I
Once
can
they're
even
in
use
place,
Ring-Con.
Your quest can begin. In this game, you won't be pressing buttons on the Joy-Con controllers to move and attack.
Oh my god. What
Instead, you'll
the
use your whole
fuck?
body to explore the world.
This is the fucking
battle
shake weight
enemies,
all over
and reach
again.
the goal.
Kinda.
See? This isn't just any
That totally won't strangle
It's
children.
actually an electronic device that senses and reacts to your movements. It'll turn physical force into
Like,
powerful
honey,
attacks.
we gotta go have sex on this Ring Fit thing.
Likewise,
I cannot beat
the
this
leg
fucking
strap
mission.
will sense the movements of your lower body. Whether
this
you're
is
super
just the
fit
first game.
or it's your first time exercising in a while,
I will
you
say
can
the game looks
calibrate
pretty
the
cool.
Ring-Con to match your personal ability.
That means Ring Fit Adventure
Okay,
can be
that's probably a
enjoyed
good
by
place to
players
stop.
of any fitness level.
Let's introduce the world
Wait, I
of
wanna see the
Ring
game.
Fit Adventure.
I know, but the people listening can't see
Tim,
it.
it's a purple ring.
Okay, you gotta describe it then.
Okay,
The
it's
adventure
blasting out a
begins
ball.
when an
Space.
evil,
Oh, now it's like a
bodybuilding
moon.
dragon named Drago throws the world into
It's a big
chaos.
dragon thing.
This
Oh, it's like a
world needs
map.
your help.
That looks kind
And
of
there's
cool.
a
All right,
lot
and
of
you
it
got
to
Mario
see.
down the bottom right. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna
So there's
I'm
like-
gonna exercise.
So there's a ring that has some kind of tension to it, and you put one of the Joy-Cons in it, and,
Bow.
and then you strap the other Joy-Con on your
Set it
leg.
underneath the bed and go to town.
So, like, you run, and the one Joy-Con will see that you're running, and the other one,
run.
so you control the whole game. It's supposed to make you exercise. So, I mean, they've done this.
Stop moving so fast, sweetie. The fucking guy's gotta turn left.
It's gonna be like way better at tracking your body than the Wii Fit ever was. I'll say that.
On the fucking balance board.
Yeah, that thing could weigh you.
Yeah, that's true.
about it.
Maybe
You could control rabbits sledding downhill with your butt.
Ooh.
That was actually a really fun way to use a Wii Fit board.
I never had a Wii Fit board.
I've actually had two.
Huh.
I had it, got bored with it, sold it, and then the rabbits game came out where you could steer with your butt.
Oh, and then you
I got one from GameStop for like $20 just so I could steer rabbits with my butt.
Gotcha.
That was actually way more fun than the Wii Fit.
Worth $20.
Yes. So Nintendo, once again,
making weird ass sex toys.
Well, yeah, it's gonna help us get fit though.
Yeah, fit sex toys. Gotcha. Hey Tim, you want to kick it?
No. We're gonna have a break first. But before the break, Zach, I got to interview someone who's going to solve something else with video games.
Okay.
Loneliness.
Huh?
Loneliness.
He's gonna solve my loneliness with video games?
No. Yes. Loneliness is a huge problem. Like, it's actually, when you're older.
I'm not lonely.
That's good. Because lonely
stop. Tell me I'm lonely, Tim. I'm not lonely.
Loneliness is more dangerous for your health than obesity.
Okay.
I
can believe that.
It's more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Well, don't you ever try and stop me again, mister.
Well, why can't you not do both?
Well, because you got to do something that's bad for your health. It's only part of living.
So there's going to be it's in development.
Okay.
It's called Project Haven.
Okay.
It's a massive MMORPG, which the whole purpose is, I mean, also aside from playing a game and having fun, is to get people to connect to each other. And I got to interview the CEO of Beta Dwarf, whose name is Stefan Kabelgaard.
Where's he out of?
He's out of Denmark.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm going to play this interview, and then we're going to go to a break right after that.
All right. We will listen to this, and we will go to break.
This is Tim Blitzer with ButtonSmashers.com and Plug and Play Podcast. I'm here with Stefan Kabelgaard, CEO of Beta Dwarf Games. So I was kind of curious what type of games you played before you became a CEO at this game company.
I played a lot of Blizzard games and some smaller indie strategy games. I'm a huge CCG fan and strategy fan, and was very good back in the days at playing Warcraft 3. Almost made it to the national competitive level. But yeah, so it's been a lot of Blizzard games.
I'm really interested about your next project, Project Haven. Is that a working title?
Working title, yeah.
You're describing this game as kind of a friendship genre, and I'm really intrigued by that. I'm looking right now on an American website, the Health Resources and Service Administration, and they're saying loneliness and social isolation can be as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and that 43% of American seniors feel lonely on a regular basis, which increases their risk of mortality by 45%. So loneliness is a big problem, and I'm very curious what your strategy is for combating loneliness through gaming.
So first of all, it's pretty good to understand how you actually create a friend. And the reason to create a friend is that it's one of the ways that you can solve loneliness, especially if this friend has some similarities with you where you feel that you talk deeper with them. Usually loneliness comes from feeling alone, and you can actually feel alone even though you have a lot of friends. So it's usually a cause of you feeling that you don't have friends that are exactly like you, if that makes sense. So the fundament of what we are trying to solve loneliness with is to find friends that you can talk with. How do you actually create a friend? And if you look at it more like a formula, that's fairly possible to explain. It is basically that you need two people to do an activity or be together and talking for at least 50 hours or more. That's basically a casual friendship. And if you want an intimate friendship, not sexual or anything like dating or something, just a really close friend, that would be 200 hours plus. And to get there, you would need basically what you could call reciprocation. So it's an exchange of deeds. It is, if I smile to you, will you give me back a smile? That would be just one reciprocation loop. And if I do a high five, there would be another. And it's actually a more vulnerable loop because you can leave me hanging in a high five action, and that's uncomfortable for some people. So you basically, to create friends, create a long journey of reciprocation loops that become more and more advanced. In real life, that would be that I smile to you, you smile back, you figure out we have stuff in common, we talk about that. And in the end of all that, I start, let's say, taking care of your child once in a while, or you trust me with lending money, or some of these things that are really, really high trust of loyalty. And that's where you get the close friendships, especially if we're then also able to exchange vulnerabilities. And that is where you feel comfortable enough with me to share some kind of taboo thing or something you feel vulnerable about in your private life that you wouldn't be comfortable sharing with any others. And that's what you need close friends for. So how do we do all this? Basically, in our new game, which is super cooperative, It is both like a big group cooperative thing where you can play with up to 20 people cooperating to succeed in certain challenges, but overall there will be a lot of focus on the 2 and 3 person group. That is because anything beyond 3 persons is harder to establish strong relations within. If you imagine that you sit in some intimate area and you're sharing more deeper subjects about your own life or whatever, it's very hard to do in more than 3 person groups. 2 or 3 is really good for that. So we establish these groups, and then as we see that you play missions more and more with the same people, we kind of build out these friendship trees. Then we make sure that if you're just randomly searching for a party to play quests and so on, and we can see that some of the guys or girls that you played with are online and also doing that, we suggest that you play with them so you can get closer to these 15 hours. And then if we see that you seem to have fun playing with them, mainly measured by whether or not you're interested in playing a consecutive mission with them, then we start offering kind of that friendship journey where there will be more intimate missions, basically. You can imagine that you're given a mission where you're supposed to take watch with 1 or 2 other persons. It's action that is vital enough where you have to sit and take watch and see if an enemy arrives, which means that you can't just sit on your mobile phone and look somewhere else. You need to actually watch out. And the only other action you have to do there or can do is basically talk. And since you're only like this 1 other person or 2 other persons, it is a space where you theoretically should be much more comfortable sharing something. And this is with people that you've already played for at least like 3, 4, 5 hours with. So you have the game in common with them as well. So this is the exact spot where you might start saying, hey, what do you actually do besides playing this game, or where are you from? And then I might respond, well, I'm also living fairly close to you, and do you know this spot, and so on. And the more people have in common or more similarities, the easier it is for them to make friends. And of course, we, like any other game you should do nowadays, try to create matchmaking that is IP based, meaning that there's a higher tendency of you being close to the other people you're playing with.
I'm imagining the initial matchmaking is pretty important then for a new player. Are you trying to put them in a pool of people that are close geographically to them? Or how does like a brand new player, how do you start narrowing that process to try to get them to those 2 or 3 friends?
Yeah, that's IP based. And actually also usually we will do, normally you wouldn't put a veteran together with a new player. That's actually a big part of this game. Since it is actually not competitive, it's more cooperative. And there's a big part of it where, that's why it has this name called Project Haven. You have havens, and you can have a small amount of people in them, but you're incentivized to actually find people to take part in it. And then veteran players has an opportunity to go and find what you could relate to as survivors in the world, and that is potentially a new player popping up, and help them out. Because if you can get them to be part of your haven, that's a good thing. And that way there should be a structure where veterans are more interested in actually helping out new players. We will basically matchmake them a little bit based on that. And if it then seems like they're having a good time, that's where we start checking if there would be a potential to offer the friendship journey for these people. Additionally, like games like World of Warcraft or EVE Online or something like that, but especially World of Warcraft is actually good at creating friendships. The issue is just that if you are not playing almost the exact same hours and started at the same time, World of Warcraft has massive worlds where you easily end up in separate places. But since you are controlling multiple characters in this game, it's much more meaningful to either start from the same journey again or find characters that are in the same progress level, basically. That's a big part of the game as well, so you don't get divided.
I'm wondering how far along you are in development, how close you are to releasing a beta or an open invite. What your plans are for that.
So it's a massive game that we've been on the design on for like 1.5 years, and I think we definitely have 2 to 4 years left on it. I think we'll start inviting people into very close betas probably like a year from now. So
if someone was interested in following Project Haven, what would be the best way to keep tabs on your progress and maybe get into that closed beta? Would it be Instagram or Facebook, or do you have a blog, or what is your primary method of communicating that?
I think that would definitely be our mail list that we put a lot of energy in, and or our Minion Masters Discord server, because we talk about the company there as well. But if you go to betadwarf.com, you'll see the sign up to our mail list where you get updated, or you can search for Minion Masters on Discord.
And you have a pretty large Discord community there, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest 50 or something in the world.
If you're as interested as I am in Project Haven, I encourage everyone listening to check that out. And thank you very much for sitting down with me, Stefan.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
Hello, and we are back. Tasty treats in hand.
Hey, Zach,
Yes.
are you ready to kick it?
Let's kick it. Tim, what do you have for us this Kickstarter episode?
Actually, we're not going to kick it this week.
It's really fucked up because I got a really good one that's actually kind of inspirational I want you to watch after.
Nope. We're not
Damn
going to do
it.
it. We're not
Damn
supporting
it.
Kickstarter this week. You know why?
God damn it.
Kickstarter's union busting.
Are they busting union balls?
Crowdfunding platform Kickstarter has been, this is from Gizmondo.com. Crowdfunding platform Kickstarter has been the springboard for countless original products over the years, which we have covered a fair amount of.
A lot of them.
But
Like 252 episodes worth.
Yeah, but an apparent attempt by the company's management to bust up an ongoing union drive is dismally old-fashioned. Clarissa Redwine, Kickstarter's former East Coast senior design and tech outreach lead, publicized her ouster from the company and continued hostilities from leadership this morning, tweeting, "I will not be signing your termination agreement containing a non-disparagement clause. You can keep my severance." Speaking to the Gizmondo, Redwine said she believes increased scrutiny from management, which ultimately resulted in her firing, was a retaliation for her organizing efforts. Through an attorney, Redwine has filed a formal unfair labor practice charge against Kickstarter, which was reviewed by Gizmodo. The charge claims the company has an unlawfully broad non-disparagement clause, which Redwine says she would have to assign in order to collect her severance pay. So Kickstarter employees first announced their intention to unionize with the Office of Professional Employees International Union, the OPEIU Local 153, in March of this year.
Yeah, you know, the local OEPIE 105s.
Yes, a plan which the management is openly hostile towards. This story goes on, but basically 3 of the 8 people who organized this drive to unionize Kickstarter were fired. Like when before they had exemplary performance records. It's a clear case of Kickstarter union busting. And so, for that behavior, we will not be featuring any Kickstarters this week. All right?
Okay.
That's that. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Tim.
You played any games this week?
Just, what'd you play?
All right. So I played a game called Celeste.
Okay, I've heard of this game a lot.
It's hard as fuck. It's sort of in the same category as like Meat Boy, where you have a single screen. You have to jump through a bunch of obstacles, and it's really hard. And when you die, you restart really quick. But this, you're like a person called Magdalene, which you can change the name in the beginning. But Magdalene's the standard choice, and you are trying to climb this mountain. And there's definitely some subtle themes that start emerging, like in the background, like gender roles, like men should be strong, women should be cute, and there's other things going on I can't quite figure out yet. But the game's really hard. Like I've seen some future levels, and it looks insanely hard. So I don't know if I'll ever actually be able to complete this game. But I really like the controls are super tight. You can jump, you can dash, you can grab onto walls, sort of a wall jump. It's really responsive, really tight. I wish I was better at games and I would play more. I also been playing, for like the 3rd time, Deadly Premonition, which came out on Switch, because there was an announcement, if you remember back to the Nintendo Direct, of Deadly Premonition 2, and they also released the original on Switch. And it runs pretty well. There were some audio issues at first, but they patched it. I've been having trouble playing Deadly Premonition on a modern console or PC. The PC version's screwed up.
Okay.
I think PS3 is the latest console I could play it on.
Okay.
And I've been having fun going through it again. It's got the crazy weird zombies. It's got the detective talking to the off-screen character, Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
So I recorded...
I've heard this before.
I recorded a little thing for you. You have to go back to the outline to see it.
I was actually literally just looking for it. You actually made it easier for me.
Zach, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Zach?
Zach, I'll let you handle the meeting. You feel it, Zach? Let's take it slow. Okay, Zach?
Let's take it slow, okay, Zach?
Okay. God damn it.
I put this all together to make it,
That's fucking awesome.
It doesn't quite happen like that in the game, but,
Something like that, though. Pretty close.
All right, so you didn't play any games, but you got another chance, Zach. There's another week. There's a whole nother load of games. Big load.
There's a big load. I can handle the meat.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's take it slow, though. Let's start with playing this music for the background. Maybe down a little bit. Down further. Down further. Not up. Down. All right. You got the list? You want me to read it?
Solitaire Legend of the Pirates, September 6th, coming to PC and Mac. Sayonara?
Sayonara.
No, it's not Sayonara. No, it's not. It's coming to iPhone, though. Earth Night, iPhone. Groundhog Day. Like Father, like Son, PS4, PC.
That's a weird one, because that's like a sequel to the movie that you've never seen with Bill Murray.
Yeah,
Have you heard of Groundhog Day?
Yeah, I've heard of it, never watched it.
Okay.
Also, Castle Crashers, that's an awesome game, remastered Nintendo Switch. AI, the Somnium Files, Digital Edition, PS4. Shinsekai?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Into the Depths, iPhone. Sagebrush, PC, Mac. Overland, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. And Police Stories, PC, Nintendo Switch. There's also Ni no Kuni 2. I'm just kidding.
Wait
Ni
a
no
minute.
Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, Nintendo Switch.
You skipped one.
Ni no Kuni
I put it in 50
Wrath
points.
Of the
I put it in
White-
50-point
remastered
font. You skipped
PS4,
one, you fucker. You
PSC.
skipped
I
one.
did not. Sojourn, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Untitled Goose Game, which is obviously the game of the year, coming out to PC and Nintendo Switch.
It actually is pretty fun.
So until next week.
You're a goose and you fuck with like farmer. Like you can honk and you can grab
Yeah,
things.
it's been at PAX 2 years, and it's literally just called Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, it's from the same people that are making that weird little Playdate games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the same company.
Oh, that's cool. Also, hey, Tim.
Yeah.
There's a little indie game called The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Hell yeah, there is.
Nintendo Switch.
That's like 2 days from now.
Yeah, the really shitty part is I think I'm going to have to buy this. I haven't even beat Breath of the Wild yet. I don't even know what the fuck's going on with YouTube. We're going to cancel all that now. That was also Link's Awakening music playing. So if you guys like that music, go play the game.
That's right. I'm excited about that game a lot.
I know. And you're going to buy it physical, right?
I wasn't going to, but I'm buying it physical just for you so you can try it out.
Okay, cool. Cool. So with that, guys, don't forget to check us over at thebunsmashers.com. And until next week, don't forget to prime and shine.
Always punch Nazis.
So starting from the beginning, this is what's next for the Avengers. That specifically is a phrase from our own Marvel Games guys talking about what we're trying to do here is that we said, how do we take the Avengers, how do we take these iconic heroes, and how do we kind of reimagine them, put them through a different lens, through a crystal lens. You might remember we did that with Lara Croft back in 2013 when we reimagined Lara Croft. That how do we modernize her, how do we make her a new type of hero, but how do we actually broaden that canvas even with new types of stories, epic stories, human spirit, which is what we love to do here. When we first met with Marvel, they're like, that's exactly what we want to do with these heroes. Right? The MCU is still a thing that's just beginning. We're still looking at the history of the comics and everything else. So we said, no, we want to take this as the Marvel Games group with Crystal Dynamics and say, let's take your skills and strengths, is what we love to do, put them together and put a fresh lens on these heroes for what's next for them. 5 years after A-Day, the world is a very different place, where superheroes are now outlawed, and AIM has replaced them with their advanced synthoid AI. AIM wants to redefine the world for mankind through reason, through logic. Again, this is their religion. So much so they've mobilized their AI forces to protect the rest of us from any superpowered individuals, so you can kind of see where that might go. But if left unchecked, AIM's pursuit for this technocratic utopia could actually unleash the greatest threat that Earth has ever faced. The Avengers, now scattered and broken, need to be pulled together by us. That's just where we come in as the players. So this is our job to go find these broken individuals, bring them back together, in time to stop AIM. But unraveling this conspiracy of AIM is just one facet. We'll talk about playing an original Avengers story. Right? That is just kind of the plot or the through line. We also want to talk about what it means when you play each of these heroes. So looking at folks like Tony Stark, this is a guy who's lost his toys, he's lost his tech, he's lost his fortune. He desperately needs a haircut. But it's looking at this guy who used to have all the answers, and now he has none. So this is a new version of Tony for us to say, looking through his eyes, how do we help rebuild who this guy is? Looking at Bruce Banner, he questions whether the Avengers are superheroes or vigilantes. He blames himself for the events of A-Day that you just played, so much so, he self-imposes a purgatory where he actually loses the will to transform back into Banner. You can imagine what that could look like. In Black Widow, while she saved all the civilians on the bridge, she wasn't there when Cap needed her most. So racked with that guilt, she actually retreats from the Avengers into that life of a lone wolf spy. And Thor, well, he feels like he let everyone down, particularly the Avengers. So feeling unworthy of Mjolnir, he leaves it behind and enters a much more humble life serving the people of Midgard. Cap does what Cap does best, right? He sacrificed himself for the greater good, quite literally going down with the helicarrier. And while his absence is felt throughout the entire story, he may be lost, but he certainly is not forgotten. So when we're talking about superheroes saving the world, we've heard that story before, but this is actually about you saving the Avengers. This is about going to that humanity behind these heroes and being able to say, find these characters at the most broken states, how to bring them back to where they need to be as heroes, and then bring them together as a team to be able to stop the threat that is now facing mankind.